What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, and that's the one and the only. It's Scott Savage. Scott, what's going on, buddy? Happy Monday. Welcome back.
It's funny because Monday, now I finally have a couple days off, and I'm getting back into game. All I've played in the last, 72 hours is Vampire Survivor.
Man, you play a lot of that game. That's one I still haven't checked out. Yeah, I got to check it out. I see everybody talking about it. I've been playing...
Game of the year.
Well, yeah, that's what I've heard. Dude, what I've been playing is Forspoken, where everybody can check out my review right now over on InsideTheGame.ca, as well as our YouTube channel. While you're there, help us out on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share. Divisive reviews coming up this morning on Forspoken. Very interesting to see it a little all over the place. I am on the higher end. I will leave it at that. My points are there. I have valid points, I feel, obviously. But yeah, everything is there. I don't think it's perfect. The game is not perfect. I said that right in my review. So just to kind of give you a little heads up about that. But go check it out. Definitely, yeah, I had a lot of fun. So I'll just leave it at that. But Scott, everybody can join us. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You made a good point of saying, well, it's exciting when there's kind of a divisive opinion of this game. And I think that's correct. I like that because I want to see two different perspectives on it.
Yeah, it's a little bit, dude. I've seen scores from 5s this morning all the way up to 8s. So that's quite the range, right? And I wondered where a lot of people would fall. And I went back and forth on my review. Like that's where I was at. I was up and down as I was playing the game. And the more I played, the more I wanted to play. And it's kind of how that rolled up into the end of things. Thanks, Brad, who joins us right now, like you can, over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG, as well as YouTube, as we're live over there as well, over at youtube.com/theofficialITG. But if you can't join us live, make sure you hit us up later. InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, first of all, congratulations to ITG, as this week we will be airing our 200th episode. A shout out to the crew, everybody. Thank you so much for supporting us over the last 5 years now. It's been going, Scott. We're in our 5th season, and coming up this week will be our 200th episode of Inside the Game.
That is excellent, and it all flies by. I joined with the team at episode 16, I believe it was.
I believe so. Yeah, so you've been around a while, Scott. Yeah, we had some changes.
Crushing games.
Yeah, it's been a ton of fun. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. Business is never easy, but it's been something I would never change, right? It's been one of those moments. But yeah, super excited, super proud that we've been able to accomplish 200 episodes. So make sure you check us out. If you can't check us out over on television, make sure you swing by InsideTheGame.ca, where we will have our latest episode. Scott, today's show, however, for ITG Daily, dude, I'm curious to see where we're at for the daily show. Obviously, daily show is a little bit easier to get up there in numbers because we're here almost 5 days a week most times. But Drew, your mic is quiet. Really? I'm gonna boost it up a bit. How's that then, Brad? Thanks, buddy.
That's a little deeper.
That's a little. Hello, welcome, everybody. Okay, let's get into today's show, Scott. As Marvel's Avengers will see its final update coming in March. Yeah, we'll get into that one. Dude, I got a lot to talk about on that one. If you pre-ordered Skull and Bones, well, you might see a refund. And another developer is leaving 343 Industries, but he's not going very far. Scott, let's get into it. This is right from the community page itself over at Marvel's Avengers. The final update in the future of Marvel's Avengers. This is sad news, but the writing was on the wall in my eyes. Let's get into it. After 2.5 years in introducing 12 of Earth's mightiest heroes, following update 2.8 on March 31st, 2023, we will no longer add new content or features to Marvel's Avengers. All official support for the game will end on September 30th, 2023. Even after official support ceases on September 30th, 2023, both single and multiplayer gameplay will continue to be available. Update 2.7, which has added the Winter Soldier hero and cloning lab Omega level threat, is the last new content to be added to the game. No new cosmetics are coming to the marketplace. Dude, that's all they did was sell cosmetics in this game.
Yeah, I never got into this firsthand, but that's what I hear.
Man, me and Steve were in this heavy there. Right at the get-go, I was sold. And then from there, just one issue after another. And I was just like, where's the content? Okay, 2.5 years, Scott. 12 heroes is all we have. Which, granted, at the end of it, isn't a bad thing. The problem for me is that Hawkeye came out, and then they gives another hero with the same abilities. Then we got somebody else, and then we get somebody else with the same abilities. Like, it was just kind of kept. I'm slipping on her name. Kate. It was Kate. It was his apprentice, more or less, who came out, and it was very similar. And then you go out, and it kind of just Marvel's Avengers fell into the Anthem trap of endgame content was just not there, right? And that's where it came. Good news, if you are still playing this game, you can still continue to play it. Here's the bright side. They're going to open up the marketplace and give everything for free.
Oh.
So you would have challenge cards. Yeah.
I feel like that's going to anger a lot of people, though.
Dude,
what if you had spent money on that?
Right? I get it. But at the same time, I spent money on this game. I bought the game. Then I bought the community card or the challenge card so I can get in. And when you get a new hero like Spider-Man, you get a challenge card. Well, you have to buy that challenge card. It's not given to you like a battle pass or a new season every year or every couple months, whatever the game might be, right? But here, dude, you're given a challenge card, and as you play through in the daily challenges and weekly challenges, you would get points, in-game currency that allow you to unlock some of these things and get new cosmetics, new emotes, and things along that line. Dude, it was this. I should still be playing this game on a daily basis. This is Marvel. Let me say that again.
Yeah.
Let me say that again, Scott. This is Marvel right there. Dude, this should be at a top tier level. Here's the thing. Crystal Dynamics came in not really building upon a games of service experience before in the past. This is a learning curve for them, right? And it clearly shows in the end, which is, it sucks. What I think they did, and I think they did it well, was give us cool characters, give us an amazing story, the single player story, and then the DLC we saw after that, Scott, like War Wakanda DLC, was really good. It was. Yeah,
you've only ever had good things to say about that.
It was cool. All of a sudden, now you get into Black Panther, and I'm like, yeah, we're in his world, right? We're in that universe, and then we're exploring and getting things. But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough to keep us coming back. We were just left, like I said, with that Anthem fatigue of there's nothing else to do. The single player, I think if Crystal would have just gave us the single player game, this would have been in a whole other conversation. But because they tried to make it a games as a service and keep it going so that people would come back day in and day out, and granted, some did, a lot of us didn't. A lot of us just bailed out, and we were waiting for that. What's that catch to hook us back in? Dude, they even gave us a raid. I had nobody to play with because no one else was playing this anymore. Right? Like, dude, I was excited. I'm like, yo, Steve, we got to check out the raid. And the more things we just came back to, I was just like, I don't want to play this anymore. I really don't want to play it. I wanted to be in here for a year to 2 years yet.
Well, they had added Spider-Man, but in contrast to the War of Wakanda, that was such a letdown, from what I hear. Again, this is all secondhand. But was there a character that was missing, perhaps? Is that the hook? Because if you drop a couple X-Men into that game, I'm in.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Dude, it's Marvel. Like, I keep going. You have the whole plethora of Marvel characters to pick from. We have 12. In 2.5 years of this game being released, we have 12. Which on one scale is okay. On the other scale, it's like, keep it coming. Right? Like,
it's okay if it's a fighting game. But
well, right? Like, I would have liked to have seen more heroes introduced and more content. If you don't have the content to keep it going, that's why I've said this in the past, and I'll keep iterating on this. If you are making a games of service, you need 2 years of content already planned before the release of the game. I stand behind that 100%. Right?
Oh, and there's a million different examples. Look at Halo is the biggest one that's weighing on me. Is just not enough content at launch, and like you said, it kind of gives you that idea of Anthem, and that's not a good taste.
No, because I loved Anthem. Dude, I'd still be playing Anthem. I downloaded it the other day just to jump in. I was just, so disappointing, right? It's just one of those things. But yeah, that's the end.
They need to add Iron Man in that game.
In Anthem? Well, dude, you felt like Iron Man, right? That was the biggest thing, is you felt like an Iron Man-esque character flying around. It was so cool. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And then we just left nothing. We take a look at Bungie and what they've done with Destiny. Granted, it's had its ups and its downs as well, but dude, that game is unstoppable, right?
I'm trying to remember, when did Destiny 2 come out now? I have to look this up.
Yeah, let me know. It's been a
I
couple
am
years.
in front of the human hive mind here. Let's find this out.
But for now, I'm going to jump over to Skull and Bones pre-order refunded. No longer on sale on PlayStation Store. Scott, here we go again. What the heck is going on with Ubisoft? This is the second time we've seen a game taken off the store over at PlayStation. PlayStation is not messing around. If you are not pumping out something content released and timed, they're just going to take you off the store. It's interesting. This goes from Nick over at PlayStation Lifestyle. Skull and Bones pre-orders are being automatically refunded by the PlayStation Store. In particular, those who have pre-ordered the $100 deluxe edition for Ubisoft's upcoming pirate game report. Dude, that is... Wow. I'm just like, yeah. So if you bought the $100 edition, that's getting refunded. Full refund from the PlayStation Store. This could be due to the fact that, at the time of this writing, Skull and Bones is no longer available for sale in the PlayStation Store, likely because of the release date being pushed to a vague release window of 2023. No email on the refund was reportedly sent to users, as noted by a user on Skull and Bones Reddit, as well as another user on Twitter. Skull and Bones pre-orders have been refunded on PlayStation platforms. Ubisoft support responded to the Twitter thread by asking for additional information. Though the user says that an email or a warning should have been sent first before a refund was authorized. The Reddit user corroborates this, stating that the email about the refund was never sent. Checking the PlayStation Store, Skull and Bones cannot be purchased or pre-ordered at this time. More troubled waters over in the world of Ubisoft. I'm optimistic for Skull and Bones. I like dude, I love the setting. I do kind of like what I've seen so far, but I'm so nervous for Skull and Bones.
Yeah, this is definitely not a good sign, and it has to come out of the gate fast. It's got to come out swinging hard if it's going to make that impact now, because it just has so much negative publicity coverage on it. It's not looking good.
So I wonder then in this case, right? So we just saw another delay. It's supposed to be out on March 9th. Delayed again. I was like, man, we're finally getting Skull and Bones. Nope, delayed. Then like a day or 2 days later, they show us 30 minutes of gameplay. I was like, what? Confusing. Yeah, mixed signals. And now it's been taken off the PlayStation Store. Like, it just doesn't get any worse, does it? At this point, you kind of wonder, can they fix things and turn it around? I think a lot of people are going to jump into Skull and Bones just to see what the disaster is all about, right? I'm hoping it's good. We've talked about it on the show a million times. We love Ubisoft. We love the games that they put out. A lot of their games really speak to me. I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. I'm a big Ghost Recon fan. Like, a lot of their games are definitely what I want to play. We talk about Splinter Cell all the time, crying for another Splinter Cell. But at the same time, it's like, whoa, what's going on here? What is the trouble behind this game, and why is it taking so long? How many times did they reiterated going back to the drawing board to fix whatever, to maybe readjust the game plan? A lot of developers have come out over at Ubisoft stating they're worried about the game because there's not enough content in the game. I don't know how you not have enough content. It's been in development for a decade.
See, this is making me nervous about other Ubisoft titles as well. Yeah. Splinter Cell being the main one. Is this perhaps why we've seen so many delays, or not heard of any sort of roadmap to release with a new Splinter Cell? Is it because they're going to focus on games as service? Please no, Ubisoft. Please no.
Last we heard too, they had at one point a dozen live service games in development.
Oh yeah.
Right? And that's why I said they've taken a bowl of spaghetti, tossed it at the wall, and hoping something sticks. So we'll see what happens there. But who's not sticking around is Joseph Stanton over at the Halo Infinite side of things. He's leaving 343 Industries and returning to Xbox Publishing, the report states. Amidst reports of Microsoft laying off heavily impacting 343 Industries, Joseph Staten is reportedly also departing the Halo Infinite studio. This comes from Jenny over at GameSpot. Dude, this is sad, right? Because he's kind of leading the flagship right now over Halo, and we're all hoping somebody's going to be able to turn it around. We'll see what the future holds. But in a bombshell announcement, Microsoft stated that it will lay off 10,000 people. So we've already kind of talked about that. I don't want to go back into it. Our hearts are out to all those affected by this. 343 Industries is affected by it. Bethesda is affected by it as well. However, news broke that Staten noted that he's leaving 343 Industries as well, hit hard by Microsoft layoffs. Staten has has a storied legacy in the Halo franchise. He helped pen the stories of Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, and more. In 2020, 343 Industries announced that Staten was back to help the team get Halo Infinite to the finish line. Staten's departure from Halo Infinite isn't entirely unexpected. The original 343 Industry blog post announcing Staten's support stated he would, quote, help for a bit, end quote. So he just come over for a little while. Now he's going back to the publishing side. So he's not leaving Xbox. He's just transferring over. Scott, still makes me a little nervous, buddy.
It does, but just the idea that now it's time for him to go back. Perhaps they don't necessarily need him. I'm not sure how to say that in a better way, but maybe there's some confidence there that they have turned it around or that they're moving in the right direction.
I like that thought. I like that thought a lot, actually, right? So
I'm hopeful.
Has he done his part? He's done his part where he's been there for a little bit. Okay, I think we've got this figured out. Here's the game plan. I'm heading back over to where I was initially. You guys can take over from here, right? So maybe we are now on a brighter future. Scott, I want to get into the next article as well, because it kind of ties in with what's going on here a little bit. 343 reaffirms commitment to the future of Halo content following job cuts. The studio says it will continue to work on, quote, epic stories, multiplayer, and more, end quote. Andy Robinson over at VGC has this to say. Reports from Bloomberg and Lords of Gaming that identified 343 as one of several game studios to be affected, with the latter claiming that the Halo developer had suffered a significant number of layoffs. We already knew that, right? Here's what they had to say on Twitter, though. This is what came up. Halo and Master Chief are here to stay, it wrote. 343 Industries will continue to develop Halo now and in the future, including epic stories, multiplayer, and more of what makes Halo great. Scott, they're not holding back, dude. Like they have no intentions of going anywhere for Halo.
Yeah, they're not going to retire the Chief. He's never done, actually. I think that's kind of an in-universe joke. He's never actually done. The missions change. They always do.
Right? Where are you at with Halo?
That quote gives me goosebumps when I hear it come out of the Chief's mouth. For real. I'm such a fan of Halo that I will hang on. Sure. Almost regardless of what happens, but to see it just kind of nosedive lately is really not good at all. As a fan, I'm hoping that they can come back with something Tachanka, the battle royale mode. That's what I want to see, and I think that might be what Halo needs to save it. Something completely new,
which is fair, right? I've always been a fan from the outside. Kind of thing. I played the stories. I come along. I enjoy my time, and then I bounce out. I'm not there for the multiplayer. I did play the multiplayer. I obviously suck at it. It's the reason why I haven't stuck around, right? But it was fun, dude. It was fun. But is it enough now, right? When I talk to the younger generation, being my kid, dude, he has no interest in Halo, right? Like I feel Halo speaking to the old fans, like us, yourself, Nate. Like a lot of.
I feel like the new generation is hooked on the games of service, kind of like an always hungry consumer.
Yeah, well, no, absolutely. There is that hunger to feed all the time off these games, right? Like, what else are we doing today? What are we getting into? We often see Nate playing Fallout 76 because he's in there for that grind, right? There are all these grinds and things like that. Is there enough to pull us in, though, with Halo? Is there enough to pull the younger generation, that Gen Z, in for Halo? What can they do to pull them back? I'm really curious where 343 looks to take this in the future. Isn't enough to pull people into the multiplayer, because when it first came out, dude, everybody was real hot on it. Everybody loved what they were seeing, what they were feeling, and then it just seemed to really dry up. It felt like there was but a good month, and then all of a sudden it vanished. So
yeah, I feel like it was leaned too heavily into the cosmetic sales. The free-to-play model, I'm not certain I appreciate it on this title.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. It was funny when we talk about free to play. We just saw recently too, going talking about battle royales. Dude, PUBG went free to play, and they were the #1 watched game on Twitch last year. Like one of them. Like it was incredible to see the PUBG, the originator who tried to fight off Epic, obviously didn't work with Fortnite.
Yeah,
right. And like these models work. They just work. But is that enough here for Halo? And I'm hoping 343 can do something. I honestly would like them just to see them bounce out and do something else. I know Halo was their flagship. but we're talking about was, not is. So like that's concerning to me, right? Because
Bungie branched out and created Destiny after years and years and years of wanting to. So there is possibility something better could come out of that.
Right? Will we see 343 branch out to a new IP? I mentioned it last week on the show thinking that would be a cool idea, but it doesn't seem like they're going to let Halo go. And I just don't know if there's enough gravitas there anymore to keep Halo evolved. Right?
That's a good one.
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, there we go. I mean, Halo Combat Evolved 2.
So there is that side of it. We'll see what happens. We'll obviously keep everybody posted what's going on with Halo, but it was interesting to see that Joseph has left, but he hasn't gone too far. He was only there for a short time. Hopefully that was enough to turn the studio around to make everybody want to come back to play some more Halo. People are right now playing a little bit of a game that's not too impressed by the fans. Game that promised no paid DLC ever is getting paid DLC. This is over at Morgan Park from PC Gamer. Longtime players of the FPS squad were blindsided the other day when developer Offworld Industries announced that the game, once promised to never sell paid DLC, will in fact start selling paid DLC in the next update. Offworld is starting small with 2 packs of paid emotes, accompanying 1 set of free emotes that all players will receive automatically. Quote, emotes are animations. We know what emotes are.
Yeah.
That was just weird. Emotes
just play Overwatch and somebody's spamming them the whole time.
Oh, yeah, or Fortnite. Emotes are animations which can be used to express yourself, interact with others, celebrate, blah, 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 blah. We hope they will enhance the social and cinematic aspects of your squad experience. Offworld says that the first batch of emotes is the beginning of a new form of support for the squad that they're excited to try, but to some players, Squad's foray of microtransactions feels like a betrayal. Dude, when you've been told one thing and then all of a sudden it got turned around, it's not going to sit well with the fans, right? Here's what Offworld had to say. We understand that paid content in gaming can be controversial and that previous leadership at there it is right there. Previous leadership at Offworld has stated that paid DLC would never be added to Squad. Given this, we wanted to inform you of this change prior to the release of version 4.2 early. As we look to the future, we see a long and healthy life for Squad. It has a large and dedicated player base. We have plans for more updates and to support the game beyond 2023. That's exciting to see. While many of these planned updates will be free, we also realize that we need a way to continue to fund development of the Squad. Paid content like emotes is one such way to help fund that development and continue our work on improving the game. Scott, at the end of the day, dude, they just got to pay the bills to make sure it works.
Yeah, there is still, well, if they're going to be, excuse me, if they're going to be supporting this game for several years now, and there's somebody doing the math in the company, and you have to think that perhaps it's kind of a dire situation if they are going to reverse their current statements.
Well, that's just it. If some new leadership comes in and says, "Hey, have you seen Fortnite? They make a ton of money off of all these things. Why aren't we doing that?" And there's some logic in that, right? It helps fund the game. If you like the game and you play the game on a daily basis, there's only one way to keep it going. You can't keep playing a game on a server for nothing, right? At the end of the day, developers need to make money to make sure that they're able to keep the lights on and keep supporting the game that you love and enjoy. The one way of doing that is just this way. And yeah, it doesn't sit well when you've been told one thing and it comes back to hit you in the butt with another. So it's just kind of one of those things.
I had a thought.
That's business.
What if they added emotes to Siege? We play a lot of Siege. This kind of has that similar milsim. Siege is more arcadey, I believe. But imagine if they had kind of emotes. You're creeping around on a wall. Somebody's on the opposite side and you say something through the wall. Like, there's a lot of possibilities that could be interesting.
Oh man, I know.
It's just unfortunate to see this added to Squad in a paid manner.
Yeah, absolutely. Scott, that's going to wrap up today's show, though. Just like that, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This is ITG Daily, where we keep you up to date with all the latest in news. And until tomorrow, I'm Drew, that's Scott, and we'll see you inside the game.